All right, so have you heard about this movie Last Swim?
Last Swim? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing it all over, and there's this review on MovieKaTicket, and they're just raving about it, and
Oh,
so
wow.
many people have been asking for a deep dive on it. So here we are.
That's great. Yeah.
One of the things that really stood out to me was that they're saying it's not like your typical coming of age movie.
Oh.
It's going deeper. It's talking about identity, ambition, even mental health.
Yeah, it sounds like it's tackling some pretty complex stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And it's gotten a lot of attention already.
Like what? Like in terms of awards or?
Yeah, it's picked up a couple of big awards at the Berlin International Film Festival.
Oh, wow. That's a big one.
That's a huge one. And then it's also been nominated for, I think it's the Sutherland Trophy at the BFI London Film Festival.
Okay.
So like it's making waves.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it.
So let's dive in, shall we?
Yeah.
The story centers around this British Iranian teenager. And she's a sixth former, which I had to look up because I'm not British, but it's basically the equivalent of senior year of high school.
Okay, gotcha. Senior year, yeah.
And she's brilliant. She's excelling academically. She's even secured a spot at UCL, University College London, to study astrophysics.
Astrophysics, wow, that's impressive.
It's like she is on track.
Yeah.
But it seems like, beneath this like really successful exterior, there's something else going on.
I mean, you don't usually make a film about somebody who's just totally fine, right?
Right, exactly. There's got to be some conflict.
Right.
And the review specifically mentions Deba Hekmat, the actress who plays Ziba, and calls her performance brilliant.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of what makes this so interesting, right? It's like you have this young woman who's driven, who's ambitious, but she's also dealing with navigating two cultures, maybe the weight of expectations from family, from society.
Yeah, that adds a whole other layer to the typical coming of age story.
Exactly. And she's just a teenager, like trying to figure all of this out.
Yeah, and just thinking about that too, the pressure of being a teenager and then adding on top of that.
Right, exactly.
Cultural differences and maybe expectations from family.
Yeah.
That's a lot to deal with.
And it's not just Ziba's story, right? The review also mentions this really strong supporting cast.
Oh, okay, so it's not just like her in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Okay.
They highlight Narges Rashidi, who plays her mother, Mona, and then McLeod, who plays this friend, Shea.
Okay.
And I think that's important, too, because it's not just like her internal struggle. It's about these relationships, how they shape us.
Right. Well, yeah, everyone's coming of age story is also influenced by people around them.
Exactly.
Family, friends, yeah.
And that just makes it that much more, I think, relatable, because it's not just this one person's experience. It's like this whole world.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And speaking of how they create this world, the director, Sasha Nathwani, has this style that's described as like intimate and poetic.
Oh,
and there's this one scene that the reviewer highlights where Ziba's outside stargazing and the camera focuses on the reflection of the stars in her eyes.
Oh, wow.
And that's just like this really powerful image, something so simple, but it just speaks volumes.
Yeah, it sounds like they're really using the visuals to tell the story.
Yeah, and then the fact that it's set in London, this city that's just like constantly moving, so much energy, so diverse.
Right.
It's almost like her internal conflict is reflected in the external world.
Yeah, I can see that. Like the chaos of the city mirroring the chaos maybe she's feeling inside.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So we've talked about, this interesting story, these great performances, this like beautiful visual style.
Yeah.
And it's clearly resonating with people, right? Like I mentioned, those awards.
Certain awards, yeah.
The Crystal Bear, the AG Kino Gildo Cinema Vision 14 Plus Prize.
Wow. Can't believe you can remember all these names. I'm impressed.
Hey, I do my research.
I know you do.
Both from the Berlin International Film Festival.
That's a big deal. That's a really prestigious festival.
It is.
And those awards in particular, they often go to films that are, pushing boundaries, doing something different.
Okay.
And then the Sutherland Trophy, that one's specifically for first-time feature directors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's a huge recognition of Nathwani's talent.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about something.
Okay.
The review mentions this struggle that Ziba has with expectations, right? From family, from society.
Yeah.
Do you think that the film is maybe critical of that pressure that's put on young people to achieve, to be successful?
That's a good question. It's hard to say for sure without seeing it, but I think it could be. I mean, coming of age stories often deal with that tension, right? between what you're expected to do and what you want to do.
Exactly.
And sometimes that pressure can be really damaging. It can lead to anxiety, depression.
Right.
So it wouldn't be surprising if the film explores those darker sides of ambition.
Okay, but then at the same time, she's obviously driven. She's got these goals.
Right.
Could it also be celebrating that drive?
Absolutely. Yeah, it could be doing both,
Okay.
like acknowledging the pressure, but also showing the power of pursuing your dreams.
Right, so it's not just like black and white.
Yeah. It's probably more nuanced than that.
Nuance is good, keeps us thinking.
That's what we like.
So, to sum up,
Yes.
if you enjoy stories that really make you feel something,
Yeah.
that have these characters you can connect with
Right.
and that are visually beautiful, it seems like Last Swim is definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, especially if you like coming-of-age stories that go beyond the surface, that really dig into those deeper issues.
Yeah, and I think those stories resonate with so many of us because we've all felt that uncertainty,
Absolutely.
that pressure to figure out who we are and what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, like where do we fit in? What's our purpose?
Exactly. So I think there's something universal there, even if our individual experiences are different.
Right. And it's interesting too, because it's not just about teenagers. I mean, these are questions that we grapple with throughout our lives.
Right. Yeah, you never really stop figuring it out, do you?
Exactly.
The review gave the film 4.5 out of 5 stars,
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive.
which is, yeah, it's pretty high praise.
Yeah.
But there's one more thing I want to leave you with.
Okay.
The review talks about this haunting uncertainty of the future as like a major theme in the film.
Okay.
And it made me think, like, Ziba seems to have it all figured out, right? She's got the grades. She's got the university
Well,
acceptance.
you're the outside looking in.
So what could that uncertainty be about? What's she still grappling with?
That's a good question. It makes you wonder if maybe even with all the external success, there's still this internal struggle.
Right.
Maybe she's questioning her choices or she's afraid of what comes next.
Right. Like, even if you achieve all these things, it doesn't necessarily mean you're happy or fulfilled.
Exactly. And it also makes you think about the title Last Swim.
Yeah.
What does that symbolize?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Is it a last hurrah before adulthood? A letting go of something?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
A lot to ponder.
A lot to unpack there for sure.
I'm definitely putting this on my watch list.
Me too. I have to see what all the buzz is about.
And for everyone listening, I highly recommend you do the same.
Yeah, check it out.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Because this is just our take, based on the review.
Right.
The real deep dive starts when you watch it yourself and form your own opinions.
Yeah, exactly. And we always love hearing from you, so let us know your thoughts.
That's right. All right. Well, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.